This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. Relationships are everything in our lives. We are creatures that crave connection. There are sometimes you're in a relationship that truly doesn't support you. Maybe there's abuse within that relationship. Many times we, quote unquote, suck it up because making change is very challenging for all of us. There's fear involved in that. There's a lot of logistics and all that. How do you move your life forward when you're in a relationship that's just not the best for you? She helps people with that. Actually, she has a program to support those in abusive relationships. We're going to look at that through all different angles. She's also a certified dream builder coach and helps people transform their lives every day in many different ways. And she's Donna Andrews, and she's back with us on the program. Hey, Donna, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well and gratified that we are digging into this because I do believe it's one of those topics that not a lot of people talk about. They
Right.
try to shy away from it. Yes, there's negativity involved in it when it's a relationship that isn't truly supporting somebody, but you got to turn to somebody for help. And I guess the first step of that is recognizing, acknowledging that you're in an abusive relationship, right?
Right. And there are so many types of abuse, and a lot of times it's not seen. It doesn't always come in bruises and broken bones. There's the mental abuse and emotional abuse and withholding withholding uh, support. Financial abuse, where they don't give you any money. There's so many different types of abuse.
Let's look at narcissism because I've actually done podcasts on this before. I find it fascinating and understanding it. And is it true that you could start a relationship with somebody, not even see the narcissistic traits? Time goes on, and then you realize they're not the same person. And it's almost as if they kind of smoothed it over, and now you're under the narcissistic's control. That makes sense? Do you see it that way? Have you heard it that way?
Oh, absolutely. I've been there myself, Steve.
Oh,
It's it's you just all of a sudden wake up one day and you go, who is this person and how did I get here? It's it's just so shocking because they were such a nice person and you know this wonderful person when you started out. And I want to add, Steve, that this doesn't just happen to women. This happens to men too all the time. And it doesn't get talked about by men because it's such a shaming thing. People are ashamed of this. Well, there's
mm,
nothing to be ashamed about being human and wanting to be loved. And
mm.
um, yeah, these people are so nice and they are what you want them to be. They are everything you want them to be and more. And you are waiting for, you're trying to be in this relationship and be there and be present and give them everything you have and not wait for the other shoe to fall as you have probably in previous relationships. And so you give it your all and you trust them and you are right there and then all of a sudden, here it is. The behaviors start. They they don't want you to dress a certain way. They don't want you to go and do things you used to do when you first got together. You can't go out with your girlfriends anymore.
Mm.
You have to be home by a certain time. You can't talk on the phone anymore. You can't have those friends anymore. Things like that.
There's a lot of play here, going back to let's say you have two people in a relationship like you're referring to, and if you go back in their history and uncover what's going on there, you have the person that is being controlled now by a narcissist. That person probably has low self-esteem, feels that they're not good enough, which is universal if you ask any therapist. We all have it in
Oh
some
yeah.
shape and form.
Yeah.
Um, those things. So now they are trying to be positive in the eyes of the other person. The other person's got stuff going on in their past. Maybe they've got abandonment issues. They don't want the other person walking away and going out and having a great time with their friend. Maybe
Yeah. Right.
they all have issues. Is where I'm going with that. And
Right.
I'm not condoning anything here at all. But it's almost as if they play against each other or for each other because of the challenges that they have that they don't even probably know that they have, right?
Right.
Hmm. What are some of the things? Let's look at the narcissistic abusive relationship. Some of the things somebody might be watching and suspect, but not even 100% sure that that's what it is.
Well, they're kind of sneaky like that. They uh would have, you know, little maybe a little put down, but it's not really a direct, you're ugly, but maybe they, look at other women and compliment other women, but they don't compliment you.
Hmm.
They are, everything's about them. Um, they're um everything is just about them and everything has to be about them. They want dinner on the table and, things centered around them. All your attention goes to them. When they are home, they want your attention. The kids kind of get in the way of them. Even the kids can't really have your attention. It's all about them,
Hmm.
you know.
And I see what you're saying. The subtle put downs, they might not come out and say nasty things, but like you said, let's say it's a man and a woman. The man refers to other women, disrespectful, and then may even look at his partner and just a comment like, "Why would you wear that?" It's a negative comment. It's like,
Right.
and little jabs like that along the way. It's almost as if they have to put the other person down to raise themselves up.
Oh, that's just what it is.
Hmm. Any
Uh,
other insight for narcissism? And how do you deal with it? I've often heard you're in that situation with somebody who's a narcissist, and the best way to handle it is to present facts because the facts don't lie. But then you could have that narcissist flip those facts around or try to.
oh, they do. Everything is manipulation. In
Hmm.
when you're in these kind of relationships, there is no winning in these relationships because it's always going to be about them, and you're always going to be wrong, and you're probably just going to make them mad. So, they're when you start realizing that you're in a relationship like this, you're probably going to start fighting. There are going to be more arguments.
Hmm.
And when you start realizing, I say, when you start wondering about things like this, you need to start journaling. Journaling is a great
Hmm.
tool, is really a great tool because they will make you feel like you're crazy. They will make you feel like you're going nuts. Get some support. Get the talk to people that support you. If you can, reach out to the Y, and they have support groups for just because they're not hitting you doesn't mean it's not abuse.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you mentioned journaling. It's so impactful. Our brains are always scattered all over the place, thinking about this, that. You can't get a grip on things unless you see it in front of you, or you speak it, or you write it. When you journal,
Right.
write, don't type. Scientifically proven that there's a powerful connection between the hand and the mind. If you got to type, you got to type, but you'll
Right.
see it in front of you. you know,
Right.
and maybe realize what's actually going on. Like, why are they acting like that? Well, maybe you put it in front of
Right.
you, you'll start seeing it a little clearer.
Right. Hide your journal because they'll look for it. They'll read it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for
So
that. I didn't want to say, I was almost there to say it.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Hide
Mm.
it because they'll or keep it with you all the time so that they can't find it.
Well, then I go back on my other comment there. If you need to type it on your phone where it's secure, then go do that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. If that's what
It's
you
so
need to do,
challenging,
then
when you're in
yeah.
these situations because you may have, put down roots. You got family, you got a house, you got a lot going on, financial connections, and all of that.
Right.
And now you've got this situation with somebody who, emotionally abusive in terms of, we're focusing on narcissism right now. Um, can it be remedied? What do you do? Is it even possible? Or, yeah,
If
honestly,
that if that person wants to change, if they admit that they have problems and they want to change, anybody can change. I wholeheartedly believe if somebody really wants to change, they can.
mm,
It's they have to want to,
and accept themselves and who they are and their actions. They have to own up to it.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it easy? No.
Absolutely.
Does it happen quick? No. It's a
No.
journey, and I believe that you can't do it alone. You can't. You have to find somebody like
No.
yourself. Um, could you? Maybe, depending on who you are, but it's going to take triple the time, if not more, to figure
Oh
this
yeah.
stuff out, you know?
Right.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
What are
sure.
what are some of the other call them abusive relationships that you help people move their life forward through?
Uh, the emotional abuse, uh, like the financial abuse. Financial abuse, I think is probably pretty um frequent. They just don't realize it. Where the husband has control of the money and, uh it's not always the husband though. But they don't let you have, you know, finance the finances that you need or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, you know, withholding affection. That's a form of abuse. If you don't do this for me, I won't do that for you,
Hmm.
you know.
Never looked at
So
it that way, but that's a form of
yeah,
abuse.
it is. It
Yeesh.
really is. You
Wow.
know, people, you know, it's just not, you know, people just need to be nice to each other. So look at what was it that you fell in love with when you first got together? Look at those kind of things, you know.
Hmm.
But come see me and I'll help you un unmesh your mind up. I guess we'll get that uncluttered and straightened around and get you some support going and go through the program and figure things out.
So Donna, on the coaching level, somebody comes before you, they're dealing with a challenging relationship. What are some of the things that you can help them do to move their life forward or deal with it?
Well, I can help them um evaluate, you know, um and it depends on where they're at. Have you left that person yet? You know, do you want to leave that person or are you just going to learn how to cope with being that there? That's a big thing. Um, and is it in your best interest to stay there? You know, I'm kind of at that point where, you know, okay, now you're ready to get your life going. Let's journal. Let's do some meditation and some thinking about, okay, this is where I'm at now. Okay, so am
Hmm.
I in a safe place now? Do I have the support I need? Do, you know, what do I need to do? Do I need an attorney now? So that first week you're getting making sure you've got all your ducks in a row so that you can, start moving forward with your life and start getting your mental stuff all together. So you can
Hmm.
start working on that emotional stuff that needs to be worked on. And I'll give you some meditation to start working on.
Hmm.
Take some time to sit and be quiet and listen to your mind. Just listen to the silence. And it's very helpful. I just recently started meditating myself, and I find it very, very helpful. Um,
Why is meditation so powerful?
I don't know, but the world is so noisy. You don't realize how noisy it is.
Hmm.
And to sit and be quiet is just, I crave it now.
Me
I
too.
always used to have, I used to have a TV on all the time. And now I crave my solitude.
Same. It's the most
Yeah.
craziest thing how when you flip your mind and see it in a different way. Like I look forward to waking up first thing in the morning for one thing, nothing. I just lay in
Mm-hmm.
bed. I close my eyes.
Yep.
I think, call it meditate, even before bed. I'll sit
Yep.
there and I'll think. Last night I played some music. I was just like, let me change it up a little bit. And I just put on a song like that was basically from my childhood, but it was just like a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that connecting with yourself, I think we're out of
Right.
touch with ourselves, and meditation,
Right.
it helps you do it. And it doesn't have to be anything more than just walking and just thinking and blocking things out. And after some practice, you can get to a point where you could be in a crowded area. It's noise everywhere. And I'll be at the gym. I did this last week. I'm there and I'm like, I got to get in the zone. I just focused on a bolt on a machine. And in, I don't know, 20 seconds, I wasn't even there. I was
Right.
almost mentally transported somewhere else, and it felt good.
Right.
Like a little bit
Yeah.
of clarity. Just there's a reason this is what we've been doing for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody you just can't even describe it to somebody because it's undescribable feeling that you get with it. The peace that you get is just unbelievable.
You feel whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I like that description.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like if there's things missing, and let's go back to or share that we are everything. Like we always look for external sources. Somebody love me and I need this and I need all that. You got what you need. It's called you. Nobody's going to
Right.
love you more than you. Nobody's going to take care of you more than you. Nobody's going to provide you companionship better than you. No one. Absolutely no one.
Right.
So stop looking. Look inside.
Yeah.
It's all there.
I I I've learned that this year. This is the year of me, and I've
Yep.
learned that this year. I've learned how to love myself, and that's kind of how I got into this life coaching is,
Mm,
or what I've learned that in taking the courses for life coaching is a byproduct of it, but it's been a great byproduct of it, is
yeah.
that I learned how to love myself. And it's like, okay, all the love I've been looking for is right here inside myself.
It's so true. All I need is within me
Hmm.
now. And it's always you always hear it. You gotta love yourself before you can love somebody else. Blah 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 blah. But it's true. Can I share something with you? And it's kind of
Sure.
cheesy, but same thing. Had that realization. Um, growing up, I got bullied and, had that I'm not good enough feeling and lack of confidence all through my life. And then started this process and then finally get to the point where I love myself. I'm a good guy, got a lot to offer. So I am at the gym. This is, I think, 2 years ago. And I put on a playlist and I hear The Doors, Touch Me. And I always thought, what a great song. And what a great song for somebody else. And I don't sing, but I'll give it to you. Where it's, I'm going to love you until the stars fall from the sky. I'm going to love you for you and I. And I'm sitting there at the gym and I'm hearing it. And then I got this epiphany. That song was from me to me.
Yeah.
That was the moment. I was like, oh, this is not for somebody else. This is me. And it's a lot of us, think like, oh, well, you got an ego. You love yourself. No, you need to. It's not about ego. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what life is all about, is learning how to love yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Because things change. Once you're at that point, you look at things differently. You don't need the things you thought you needed.
Right.
Because you become whole. You become one with yourself. And it's a powerful thing you got going on there as opposed to, think of it as a car. You got a good car now, cruising down the street. You got a lot of, the car self-services itself. It's fantastic. As opposed to driving down the street in a car that's got one bad wheel and you got this, bumper just fell off because you have issues. We all have issues. We all have damage. Right. Nothing wrong with that. That's all part of it,
Right. It's, that's the whole thing is you're learning how to work your way through the issues.
Yeah.
And you're learning all your life lessons and then you learn how to love yourself.
How do we connect with you if somebody wants to find ways to make that realization to connect with themselves, navigate through abusive relationships? What's the best way, Donna?
Through my website, FenyxTLC.com. And it's got my phone number in there. And just call me. I work with everybody as far as price ranges go. I'll work with anybody. I just want to help.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's why we're talking about it. And it's spelled Fenyx.
Yes.
Okay. And that's TLC at the end.com?
TLC, yes.
So I'm hearing it, Fenyx.
Transformational life coaching.
Gotcha. Well, tender loving care too.
Yeah.
And the Fenyx, is that a reference to?
I rose from the ashes.
Love that. Yeah. Yeah. We spell it differently, but that's what it is. Yeah. FENYXTLC.com. Thank you for today. Yes. Thank you for what you offer in helping people move their lives forward and transform. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks.
We'll catch up next time. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.